Hi, welcome to Free Meditation TV. My name's Andrew and this is Oksana.
Good evening. Today we will talk about stress and how we could alleviate the stress with meditation.
Let's take a look at what we call the channels of the body. You'll see that the first channel is the spine. In Asaj Yoga, we also call that the central channel. And you'll notice there's a yellow channel on the right channel, and a blue channel on the left called the left side or left channel.
In our daily life, usually we live on the left channel or on the right channel. When we live on the left channel, how do we know that? We feel our left hand becomes very heated and we could feel tingling and burning sensations on our left channel. Usually people who live on the left channel, they think about the past. They always feel some emotional, they feel depressed sometimes, they feel sad. If we do that too much, then this channel becomes overworked and it creates stress in our subtle body.
When you feel heat in your left hand, it means there's a pressure. The nerves on the left channel are stressed. You haven't been able to resolve that. Your deep feelings or your emotions or your hurt feelings, you haven't been able to resolve them as of yet. So when we talk about balance or getting rid of stress, it's to bring that energy from the left back to the central. And now we'll talk about the right side because it is actually the opposite problem of the left.
When we feel right hand heated up, tingling sensations, burning sensations on the hand, it means that we overwork our right side. Right side is the side of our thinking power. That's where we drain our thinking power, our physical activity. When we work very hard, we always plan too much, we think too much, we use too much of the energy of this channel. And as a result, we might feel worried all the time, we might feel angry, we might feel headaches sometimes, we might sometimes do everything and then big forgetful, stressed out. This is the working of too much or overworking of the right channel.
And when you feel the heat in the right side, it's that pressure building up. It's the right channel, the right nerves of the body that have been exhausted because we just haven't resolved it. As Oksana said, we just didn't know when to stop thinking, or we got so worked up or so involved in anything, it came out as anger or some sort of ego problem. So when we're feeling like that, we have to know when to put on the brakes. We have to know when to stop and bring the energy from right back into the center.
When we sleep, then parasympathetic nervous system within us is active, and this is the central channel within us. That's actually when we get our strength for the next day. But if we're not in balance, during sleep, we don't get enough energy. That's why sometimes we sleep and we get up tired. We cannot work, or we could be very lethargic. We always fall asleep. What happens with Sahaja Yoga is that you are jumped on the central channel when Kundalini energy active. This is why when usually people get their self-realization for the first time, first thing what happens is they become relaxed. And this is the amazing state of meditative state, is when you're aware but relaxed. You're not lethargic, you're not overactive, you're in this very pleasant state of active central channel.
And that's when the balance takes place. And that's why you should try to meditate 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening. And over time, you can have this state more and more. Not every meditation is necessarily going to work or going to be great, but getting in that habit should pay off big time and take away your stress in the long run.
Sahaja means spontaneous. Spontaneous is the awakening of energy Kundalini. So this energy spontaneously brings you in the center. And bit by bit with meditation, you learn how to be there more often, how to learn how to witness your right side, witness your left side, and master them. This is the stress management of Sahaja Yoga.
Well, when you raise your energy and it comes up the spine, one quality is when it comes out the top of your head, you kind of come part and parcel of the whole. You become more of a global personality. And one of the amazing qualities of that is that you can introspect. You can kind of see yourself from a third point of view. It's kind of hard to see how we act. I mean, we rely on our friends and family. Oh, did I do that well? Or how was I feeling? And such and such. But what happens is that when you get into this meditative state, you can actually start getting that yourself. And that is another way to like look at your habits, slowly put yourself into the balance over the months and years.
This is a great point. Kundalini energy is not only the healing power within us, not only the balancing power, it also the energy that tells us on our hands we could feel, oh, I'm too much on the right, oh, I'm too much, I feel too much of my Agya chakra is working, so you feel tingling on a corresponding finger. So this is amazing inside mechanism that we all have, we don't have to pay for it, that brings us in the center.
So now let's watch a video of Srimataji, and she will explain further about meditation.
One of the reasons is that we do not know the absolute truth. Somebody says this is right, another says that is right, somebody says this is right, and they're fighting. They believe in it. They believe that this is right, that is right, and they fight. All kinds of wrong ideas have been managed to exploit us, to befool us, and to lead us into the path of destruction. We are getting destroyed from within, if you see. All kinds of diseases, unknown diseases are coming up. Our children are getting ruined, families are getting ruined. What is the reason for this decline? Within these 30, 40 years only, such a decline has come. What is the reason? The reason is, one of them is that our indiscreet freedom. And the second one, I think, is materialism. As I told you, they asked me for a Rolls Royce, because they can't understand anything without money. This is the most absurd thing, that they believe that spirituality also can be bought with money. You can purchase your guru. You can retain him. You cannot. So what happens to you when you get your realization is, first, you feel a cool breeze on your fingertips. Also, you feel a cool breeze coming out of your fontanelle bone area, which is the actualization of your baptism. It's actualization. And Sahaja Yoga is becoming, it is not just a lecture or explanation or a sermon. It is becoming, means you become something that is already described, that you are to be born again. Now, if you just certify yourself as born again, you are not. It's just a false certificate. If you are born again, you have certain powers, and you become a saint. You have to be a saint if you are born again. You become a Sufi. But if that doesn't happen to you, you cannot just certify yourself as born again. Any certificate they are like this is just a brand. For example, it might be a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, anyone can commit any sin. It's just a brand. It's nothing inside. So what happens to you that you become a righteous person? Become. You can't do wrong things. You cannot do things which are irreligious. You just don't do it. You don't get tempted to do anything. On the contrary, you enjoy your virtues. Your attention becomes absolutely innocent, without any lust and greed. And such a person, even a glance of such a person, can bring peace. The source of all this is this all-pervading power of divine love. So you are connected with that power. Once you are connected with that power, it starts flowing through. And when it starts flowing through you, you can feel it. Then it makes you grow. As a result, you know the absolute truth on your fingertips. Even children can know the absolute truth on their fingertips. There are people who don't believe in God. They come to me, I said, all right, ask a question, is there God? 3 times. And they get the cool breeze. Then I just say, there is God. Then they get a tremendous stream of cool breeze. Thus you can make out also your own centers. What's wrong with your own centers? Is there any problem in your center? Immediately you can find out on the fingertips. Many people who are about to go for a heart attack or for some sort of a serious cancer do not know they have. But a Sahaja Yogi will immediately know that his center is catching, and immediately he knows also how to correct it. So you can have self-knowledge about your own centers and you understand. Today only one gentleman came and told me, Mother, my agya is catching. Means that I am egoistical. Nobody would say that I am egoistical. But he just came and told me, Mother, my agya is catching, please correct me. That means you yourself know that this is happening within yourself and you know how to correct yourself. So you become the doctor, you become diagnosis, and you become the medicine. It sounds very fantastic, but it's a fact. Then the second thing happens to you, that you get the knowledge about others' centers also. You know about others. Sitting down here, you can find out what are the centers of any person. Immediately you can find out. Once you find out the centers, if you know how to correct them, you can correct also others. So who is the other? The microcosm becomes the macrocosm. Then we have another problem always, that we live in the future or in the past, never in the present. If I say, come to your present, you cannot come. It's very difficult for you to come to your present. So, what's the reason is that we are thinking of the future and the past. One thought rises and falls down, another thought rises and falls down. In between these thoughts, there is this vilamba, is what we call the present. When the Kundalini rises, she elongates the thoughts and this space increases and you become thoughtlessly aware. Thoughtlessly aware. You become, again I say, you become. There are no thoughts, but you are absolutely aware, which is also described by Jung, that after realization you become thoughtlessly aware. That is the time you are absolutely at peace with yourself and with everything else. That's the time you are peaceful in the real sense of the word. I've seen people getting many awards, peace awards, of peace conferences and all that. I know them, but surprisingly they are extremely hot-tempered. And if you have to talk to them also, you have to take a barge pole in between because they have such a temper. I don't know how they got these peace awards and things like that. But you find them all around, such people who have got peace award without any peace within. So you have to have your peace within yourself. And this you achieve through thoughtless awareness. The another thing happens to you, that you become the witness of the whole drama. Say, if you are in the water and there are waves, you are afraid of it. But supposing you get into the boat, then you watch these very carefully, you can watch them, also you can enjoy them. But supposing you know how to swim, then you can jump and save many people. So like this, into 2 stages you rise. The first one, when you rise into the boat, when you are thoughtlessly aware. And the second state, which we call, is a doubtless awareness, which is called as Sanskrit language, it is called as Nirvikalpa Samadhi. The first one as Nirvichar Samadhi and the second one as Nirvikalpa Samadhi, where you have no doubts about yourself. You know that You know all your inner knowledge. You know about your inner being, and you know about the inner beings of others. This knowledge we have to know, and it takes hardly any time for you to know. Hardly, I would say, even 1 month is sufficient. But what I've seen, that people have to be deep to go into it. Normally, once they get realization, they feel extremely relaxed, peaceful, then finished. But it's like a seed being sprouted. It has to grow into a tree. They get lost. First, some disease they have is cured, then they come out with another disease. Second year, I come back. So one has to be determined about it in the beginning. Then you cannot leave it because you enjoy it so much. You know that you are now in the kingdom of God.
Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed the video of Sri Mataji. Now we're going to have a meditation. So please put your hands like this in your lap and take your right hand and lift it up, feeling the energy rising in the central channel. And when you get above your head, try to feel a cool breeze coming out the top of your head. During our meditation, you could try doing this a couple of more times, or you can just sit with your eyes open or closed and try not to think and try to let the stress disappear. So let's meditate.
Welcome back. In this segment, we'll answer some of your questions. Do we have any questions?
We do have a few questions. Question number 1. Prior to the presentation, I feel stressed during preparation. I am trying to reconcile the contradiction between a meditative state and being mentally alert and ready to do my presentation in public.
That's quite the question. So you're talking about a presentation like you were at a business meeting and you had to show some facts and figures or a new product line, I guess. Maybe that's what they're talking about, presentation.
Yeah, that's probably this one.
Okay.
We get stressed when we react to the outside world, right? So we feel we have to do something. So we go into like if again presentation, we want to present something. We think about the future. We think what should we do. So what happens is that our right channel becomes overworked, and right channel, as we know, ends in the ego part. So that's what gives us this stress, this feeling of I'm not satisfied, I have to do something. What happens about when we get into the central channel? When you're in the central channel, then you're in the present. And your mind, you would be surprised, you will work faster because you are not stressed, you are not thinking too much, you are in the present. So you will be actually, the attention becomes very sharp. Question in presentation, attention goes full attention to the question. And your memory would become very, very active. So the same thing, same reason. You meditate, you stay in the balance, you don't react, because when you react, then you lose this present moment and you make mistakes. Same for presentation, same in the battle. They said that the best fighters are those who are in the centers. When they get frightened, on the left side they lose. When they go on the right side, too aggressive, they make too many mistakes. In the center, they are the masters. So same goes for everything.
Let's have another question.
Next question. I had believed that stress was mostly caused by abnormal mental activity instead of channel anomalies. Please explain.
Stress is mental, it's true, you know, and you say it's a game in your mind. Can we actually look at the chart again where it says the left, right, and center channel? Okay, well, when we talk about our charts and the human body inside with the spine, what you're going to see is on the yellow channel, you've got the entire channel going up and it crosses over and you see this big balloon called the ego, and kind of alluding to what Oksana said earlier about it results in ego, is that stress, when you're getting all this heat, you're getting all this pressure we talked about earlier in the episode, let's say the right side, let's say the presentation, you're sleeping a sleepless night, oh, I have a big presentation to impress the boss tomorrow, you're putting all this pressure on the right side of your body. So where does that pressure go? It rises, heat rises. So you got this heat in your right hand, heat on the whole right channel, hot liver, maybe hot chest, whatever, and this heat's rising, and this ego is this big bag, it's holding all of the stress here. So that's why it is a bit of what you call a head game or a mental game. And to get rid of that, it's tough, especially when you have so much stress. You do the breathing exercises, relax, and the meditation is more like, okay, I'm feeling absolutely stressed out. It doesn't mean you can just snap your fingers and meditate. We're talking about meditating twice a day, trying to not put yourself in these situations. And finally, I would say that when you have a lot of heat and it's getting up into your ego or into your head, essentially what you have to do is develop what I would call a fortress of thoughtless awareness, which means at any moment of the day, can you just turn off your mind so that you're not thinking, you're just totally flat, your brain, and then that way you can take away all the panic and angst and heat from the stress that you're having.
Do we have another question?
Last question. I am stressed because of my boss. Please help me.
Okay, so another way you could help yourself is that there is a little thing like an ice pack. If you're worried about anything, anybody, you just get the little ice pack and put it on your liver. What happens, it reduces the stress on the right channel, and you might feel that your thought process is not so active. Another thing, what happens is that stress is our reaction to outside world. And when we react, the more we react, the more our attention go outside, the less we're in control. When we learn to be in the center and we learn to be in the witness state, we learn to control first, we learn to control ourselves, and then we might able to control others. Maybe we could give them self-realization to a boss and he might become a nicer person.
Essentially, you have to be bigger than the moment. If there's a moment and you feel that you're getting intimidated by your boss, or you're not doing a great job and you want to please your boss, you just have to take every moment as they come, and you have to be bigger than that moment. And it's tough, and you're going to fall down many times, but you just have to get yourself up again. And meditation is just one tool for stress relief, and it's a major tool. And if you meditate twice a day, you just practice little by little, I think you'll notice some big results coming in a few weeks and months to come.
No more question. Thank you for watching us tonight. See you next week.
Bye.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you have any questions whatsoever or suggestions, please send us an email. We'll be more than happy to get back to you.